the first 3-loss team in history to make the playoff. The committee, basically, they're sending a clear message. We don't care what happened on the field last week. We care about the name on the side of your helmet, or in Alabama's case, the number.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
Man, the College Football Playoff Committee has lost its collective mind. There's no other way to put it. You're looking at the new 12-team bracket, and you're seeing snubs, you're seeing chaos, and 3-loss teams getting rewarded, all while a dominant Georgia sits at number 3 with a target on their back. Now, this is Hunker Down Podcast. Tonight, we're diving straight into the fire today. We're breaking down the controversy that killed bowl season, the historic chaos, and most importantly, the committee's shocking hypocrisy that proves Alabama shouldn't be in this playoff field. And I'm going to explain what I'm talking about in just a moment. We got 3 examples of committee malpractice that is going to blow your mind. So let's hunker down. Let's get into it. Look, we all know the 12-team playoff would bring controversy, but nobody expected this level of committee malpractice right out of the gate. We bring 3 major scandals to you tonight, and they all point to one thing: is a committee that prioritizes brand names and television drama over common sense and consistent rules. Bottom line. First, the Notre Dame disgrace. Let's talk about that. Notre Dame finishes as the 11th team in the ranking, missing the field by a hair. But that's not the story. The story is that Notre Dame immediately opted out of bowl season entirely. The committee leaves them out, and the Fighting Irish, essentially, they say, well, if we can't play for the Natty, we're not playing at all. And that sends a terrible signal about the value of the other bowls. It's a huge black eye for the committee, who basically they just killed an historic bowl tradition. I mean, can you blame Notre Dame? Can you blame them for doing that? Secondly, let's look at the Alabama brand bias, and it's indefensible. This is where the hypocrisy begins. Alabama's a 3-loss team. They just got spanked by Georgia. They're still ranked 9th in the country, the first 3-loss team in history to make the playoff. The committee, basically, they're sending a clear message. We don't care what happened on the field last week. We care about the name on the side of your helmet, or in Alabama's case, the number. So let's go through the committee's past decisions. Let's go back in history and look to prove exactly why this Alabama pick is a joke. They are not consistent. They change their criteria based on who they want in the field. Bottom line. And hypocrisy point number 1, the diminished team standard. Let's go back to 2023. Florida State was undefeated. They were the ACC champions. They went 13-0. The committee left them out because their quarterback, Jordan Travis, was injured. And FSU was, quote, a different team without him. But here's the question. Why does the diminished team criteria only apply to Florida State and not to Alabama? Alabama was physically dominated by Georgia in the SEC championship this past Saturday, 28-7. It was a dirty, ugly loss where they looked absolutely terrible. Their strength was clearly diminished. They were just exposed in every facet of the game, yet the committee evaluates them to a 9 seed anyway? Come on, man. It's a complete double standard based on whether the team's logo helps ESPN's rating. That's what it is. Now, let's go on to hypocrisy point number 2, the conference championship loss standard. Let's go back to that same year, 2023. Our undefeated, number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs lost a close SEC championship to Alabama by 3 points, 27-24. And we were left out of the 4-team playoff entirely, finishing ranked number 6. We were the first ever number 1 seed to be bounced after a conference championship loss. First ever. Now the committee is arguing that a loss in the conference championship isn't counted against you, but it clearly did back in 23. The committee is now attempting to say that an undefeated Georgia losing 1 conference title game is worse than a 3-loss Alabama team making the field. common sense, man, it's got to come into play somewhere. Alabama was spanked. They looked terrible. There's no way they should be in the CFP playoff over a 2-loss Notre Dame. Shouldn't be, bottom line. And let's look at hypocrisy point number 3, the head-to-head flip-flop. Now, this is the final straw for consistency. Last week, the committee had Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami. This past Sunday, when the final rankings came out, Miami, they just suddenly jumped Notre Dame, securing a playoff spot, even though neither team played a game all week. The committee finally decided to recognize Miami's head-to-head win over Notre Dame from week 1. Committee chairman Hunker Down, if I'm saying that right, said that they were only able to use the head-to-head metric once BYU lost, which put Miami and Notre Dame side by side in the rankings. And this is an absolute laughable excuse. The head-to-head was played in August. They had 4 weeks of rankings to adjust this metric, yet they waited until the final moment after a whole season of ignoring the result to flip the teams when it's guaranteed maximum chaos. It proves they're manipulating the rankings week to week, only using the criteria that benefits their predetermined final bracket. That's it. The whole process is bull, man, and it only reinforces the belief that the committee will move heaven and earth for Alabama, while everybody else is subject to their weekly changing rules. Let's look at the Georgia angle and the path forward in this. You know, the good news is that none of this chaos changes one deniable fact. We prove without a shadow of a doubt that we are the best team in the nation, period. And what did the committee's chaos hand us? The Dogs are the number 3 seed, and we have a first-round bye. Now, this is huge. While other contenders are out there beating each other up next week, our guys get to rest, heal, and practice. Our next opponent, we're going to play the winner of Ole Miss or Tulane. Look, Tulane is a great story, but they don't scare us. Ole Miss is a good team, but, you know, they're dealing with a massive distraction. Lane Kiffin's gone. He went to LSU. So while our rivals face distractions, coaching uncertainty, tough opening round games, Georgia, we're sitting back, we're analyzing tape, and preparing for a quarterfinal matchup against a damaged opponent. This is a championship caliber advantage. The committee's hypocrisy basically was our gift. This 12-team field is the most volatile field we've ever seen, and I'm ready for the fireworks, man. We still have the best team, the best coach, and now the best path to a title game, thanks to the committee being so focused on bending the rules for Alabama. What do you think? Are the FSU, Georgia, and Notre Dame snubs proof that the committee's totally inconsistent and they're operating on a brand name agenda? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You know, before you go, if you love breaking down Georgia football and the whole crazy football landscape, you know what to do. Hunker down, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you follow us on TikTok as well. We'll be back next week breaking down the first-round matchups and how they directly impact the Dogs. So, without further ado, you know what it is, baby. Go Dogs!
From Athens to the nation, I Bulldogs in the game. Kirby Smart's the mastermind, remember the name. Leading with precision, championships in sight. 2021 and 2022, we secured the fight. Stetson thrown darts, cold and precise. Bowers in the end zone, clutch every time.